What's up, everybody? My name is Tim Williams. We're here to break down today's 13-game MLB DraftKings slate. If you're new to the channel, what's up? Welcome. I've been pretty much breaking down these MLB DraftKings slates daily. So let's just jump right into this presentation. First game, Red Sox, Orioles. Red Sox favored it on the road, 9 over under here. There's going to be some crappy weather, so keep an eye out for that. You got Erod at 9K taking on Harvey at 6,500. I'm honestly not that interested in either pitcher. I think Rodriguez is firmly in play for sure. I'll probably take a look at him a little bit closely as we get closer to lock. 9K is just a little bit too pricey for me. I think he'll probably get you 20 to 24 fantasy points. But that seems to be like his ceiling as of late this season. And then on the other side, Harvey, he's been pretty decent, not DFS worthy rostering, but he has been pitching pretty well. Not too long ago, he shut down the Yankees. Red Sox, I think, are clearly a better offense here. First in average, third in on base percentage, 15th in home runs. Tougher assignment here, but they are in Baltimore. So nice hitters park there. On the Red Sox side, firmly in play, I think Verdugo at 4-3, Devers 5-3, JD. Marwin Gonzalez, I think, is a fine punt if you need a filler or someone to stack with at 3.5K. And then on the other side, I'm not too interested in the Orioles here. Erod's a pretty good pitcher. I don't know if they're going to really lay one on him. Next, we got the Nationals and the Yankees, 9 over under here. Yankees favored it at home. Corbin taking on Taillon. Corbin at that price, 6,600, very nice. But, definitely pretty risky taking on the Yankees, who have been super hot as of late. Wouldn't go there at all. And then Taillon, I wouldn't go there either for that price, 8,300. Nationals offense, pretty decent, 5th in average, 8th in on base percentage, 27th in home runs. The power hasn't really been there. I think it's a tougher matchup for them. I don't really have any interest in the Nationals. With these big slates, you really got to just whittle it down to like a handful of teams that you're really going to choose from. And then on the Yankees side, 4th in home runs, 6th in on base percentage. Stanton hitting the ball very, very well. He's on a heater. Definitely have interest in the right-hand bats here. Judge at 4.7, Stanton 5.1, Hicks at 3K for some value. Next, we have the Brewers taking on the Marlins, 6.5 over under. You have a bullpen game here for the Brewers. You have Suter at 4K taking on Rogers, one of the best pitchers on the slate by far at 8,800. Brewers 4th in strikeouts, looks to be a juicy matchup for Rogers. Rogers does walk guys here and there, but the Brewers 24th in on base percentage. I'm not too worried about that. They are not a very scary team with all the injuries that they have. That being said, I have zero interest in anyone on the Brewers today. Pitching wise, with the bullpen, low implied run total, just no interest at all. And then on the Marlins side, the only interest I have is Rogers here. Probably going to be the highest owned pitcher on the slate though. So for deep GPPs, definitely keep that in consideration. But with that run total and the bullpen game, I think that makes things a little bit trickier to get to any of the Marlins. Next, you have the Diamondbacks and the Mets. Mets favorited here, 7.5 over under. I don't like to target any bats really in Citi Field over in New York, but you have Gallen taking on Peterson. Definitely have some interest on both sides of the ball as far as pitching. Gallen at 8,900. I would definitely pay that price. The only difficult thing I see here is that the Mets are last in the league in strikeouts. However, they are also, 30th in home runs overall, so not very scary. Also, they haven't been hitting too well. So Gallen in play for sure. Peterson has been a pretty decent pitcher. I think he could be a sneaky GPP play at 7,900. Next, we have the Reds and the Indians. 8 over under here. Could be some nasty weather. Indians favored it here at home. You have Miley taking on Plesac. Reds offense still just crushing the ball. 7th in average, 5th in on base percentage, 2nd in home runs. The only guy I think I have interest in this matchup on the red side would be Winker. It's 4.6K. Plesac, pretty decent pitcher in real life. Not so much somebody I want to stack against in fantasy. And then on the other side for the Indians, that being said, I wouldn't necessarily take Plesac taking on the Reds, but guys in play on the Indian side, there's 3 guys I like. Luplow at 3.6K, very good against lefties. Franmil Reyes at 4.4K and Ramirez at 5.6. I think all definitely in play against Miley, just not a very good pitcher. So next, you have the Twins taking on the Tigers. Twins favored it on the road, 9 over under. Shoemaker taking on Skubal. No interest in either pitcher here. Twins hitting the ball very well, 9th in average, ninth in home runs. Those two stick out. Every, I think, single right-handed at bat is in play here against Skubal. Cruz at 5'4", Donaldson 5'1", Garver 5'2". Very expensive, but if you're trying to stack this team, you have a cheap Garlic at 2.6K who has been hitting in the 4 spot. And then Sano, you could take your chance with him. He doesn't look very good, but he does have that power upside at 3.3, and it's baseball. You never know. Anything could literally happen. So it's tough to predict anything. And then on the other side, on the Tigers, they're just not a very good team. Shoemaker, not a great pitcher, but I think in deep GPPs, maybe you consider some of the Tigers here. But Grossman, 3.4K is my only real interest here. So next, we have the Phillies taking on the Braves. Braves favorited at home, 8 over under. Eflin taking on Morton. Not a whole lot to talk about in this game. I just think this is a good baseball game. I'm not interested in either bats in this one. Yeah, Eflin's a good pitcher. Morton's a good pitcher. I just think this will be a nice low total ball game. Next, you have the Mariners taking on the Rangers. Rangers favorited at home, 8.5 over under here. You have Flexen taking on Fulton Newitz. No interest in Flexen there. I think Fulton Newitz is actually an okay pitcher. I don't know if I necessarily would take him in DFS, but maybe in a deep, GPP, if you're going for that huge top prize, I think he's okay. 6,800 certainly isn't going to break your team. And then one guy I'm interested on the Mariner side, Kyle Seager really sticks out here at 4.8K. And then on the other side, Rangers, I definitely like this team a lot. They're hitting the ball actually very well. Yes, they do strike out a ton, but they crush the ball out of the ballpark. 13th on average as well. 17th on base percentage. I think they're above average here, except for the strikeouts. I think firmly in play, Solak 4.9K, Garcia 3.6, low at 4.2, Calhoun 3.6, Gallo 3.7. I love that team. You can full stack them if you want. A nice play here. Next, you have the White Sox taking on the Royals, 8.5 over under. Carlos Rodon taking on Keller. Rodon at 10K, a little too pricey for me. Rodon sometimes has the tendency to walk guys. He's having a phenomenal year so far. The Royals they're tough to strike out. They're not going to really hurt you with the home run ball, but they are pesky. They do win games. So I think it's a tougher matchup for Rodon. Ballpark's certainly nice for him, though. And then on the other side, Keller at 4.9K. He's pretty much junk. But on the White Sox side, as far as hitting goes, I don't think there's a lot of power upside, and we're trying to win GPP, so we need those home runs. Keller doesn't really give up a lot of fly balls. So I think the White Sox do put up some runs here, but I just don't think they're just going to be smashing the ball out of the ballpark. And then on the Royal side, it's just a tough matchup. So not interested there. Next, you have the Rockies taking on the Cardinals, 7 over under here. Rockies away. Cardinals favorited. Gomer taking on Flaherty. Gomer 6.2K, no interest there. Flaherty at 9.4. I definitely have some interest. He strikes out a ton of guys. He's having a good start to the year. I just don't trust him fully, and I think this is the game that has the most hidden value, or at least I think it's the most hidden value on this big slate. I'm not really too worried about any chalky hitters or whatever, but on the Rockies side, Flaherty can give up walks. He can be a little rocky at times, no pun intended. Average wise, 6th overall, 19th in on base percentage, 17th in home runs. This is like a pretty average team that can actually hit for average. They don't strike out as much as you think they do. Blackman at 4.4, McMahon at 5.4, Story 5.5. No one's going to pay those prices for them. I definitely have interest in GPPs there. And then on the Cardinal side, I think they're, up with Texas and the Twins at one of the best spots on the slate. Arenado at 4.7, Goldschmidt 5.1, Edmund 4.4, Carlson 3.4, DeJong 4.2. You could easily stack this team, pay up for pitching. I think they're in a good spot against Gomer. The Rockies have one of the worst bullpens in baseball, so huge spot for them. I think the over hits here. Next, you have the Dodgers and the Angels. Dodgers favorited on the road in LA. Urias taking on Canning here. I don't have a ton of interest in this game. I think it's just going to be one of those nice ball games. If I do have interest in any bats, it's definitely going to be on the Dodgers side here. Betts 6.2, Turner 6.1, Smith 5.4. The issue is they're so freaking expensive. And then on the Angels side too, I don't think they grade out too well against Urias. So I'm just not interested in this game. Next, you have the Rays taking on the A's. A's at home favored 7.5 over under. You have Hill taking on Manaya. Another game that just, I don't think there's a ton of upside here. The Rays really struggling here. Yes, they can have some games they can string along. I think they do have some cheap value plays for sure if you really need to throw like a Manny Margot in there or something. And then on the A side, I think they're priced just about right. They can hit home runs, clearly second in home runs here, ninth in strikeouts, though, the average isn't really there. You just really have to rely on the long ball. And Hill is just a veteran pitcher. I just don't think there's a lot of upside in this one, especially being in Oakland. Last but not least, you have the Padres taking on the Giants. 7 over under here. You got Snell taking on DeScalafani. Snell at 10-2. I think he's priced up as well. I don't have, there's no clear ace on the slate for me, especially at those prices. He's definitely in play for sure. And then on the other side, DeScalafani, he's shown that he can pitch some big games. And at 7,600, I don't think the price is all that bad. Padres, if you look at their overall as a team numbers, 18th in average, 10th in on base percentage, 25th in home runs. And then on the other side here, Giants, the only thing that they really can do is hit for power. And they get on base. They can be pesky. I just think this is a good ball game. Could be low scoring. Both pitchers, could pitch well here. Wouldn't mind pitching both of them at the same time, but no real interest in the bats. I think there's more upside, more leverage plays on the slate. So that is it. My name's Tim. Thank you for watching. If you made it through this whole video, it's a big slate. Really, what you got to do is just whittle it down to like 5 or 6 teams that you really want to just pick from and go from there. I wish you the best of luck. And hope variance is on your side today. Take it easy. Peace.